Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. Today I have 4th of July Dollar Tree party DIYs for you. I have a little bit of everything in this video. We're going to get started first with my brand new 4th of July tablescapes for the 4th of July with different themes. So my first theme is Country 4th of July. I hope you enjoy. So I wanted to decorate my table for a 4th of July party with a country theme. So the first thing I'm going to do is use some of the new, I think this is new, the runners this year at Dollar Tree. They have them in different colors. This one has just the white stars, and there's 2 pieces of plastic on there. It is not as long as my table, but it's pretty close. And I thought this would be a very kind of neutral runner that I can run down the middle of my table that won't take away from all of the other fun things we're going to add to this. So simply going to lay it down. I like that my blue table kind of shines through it. Oh, you guys haven't seen my table yet. This is my old table that I had that was wood, and I didn't really like it. It didn't go with my coastal feel, and I painted it and distressed it, and I love it now. So it's blue. Now for the centerpiece, I'm going to take some red gingham burlap that I got at Dollar Tree and one of their vases from the Dollar Tree. That's the white plastic. And I thought we would cover the outside of the vase with this to really give it a country vibe. And I really like using gingham for 4th of July because it's kind of unexpected. And I thought this burlap would be perfect. So I'm just going to cut out like a section here. I know it's going to be a little tricky because it's skinnier at the bottom of the vase. And so I'm going to go ahead and iron it really quick too. I moved my auto heat press to my crafting station in the garage, and I use it all the time for crafting, so I use it a lot more. I'm really glad that I moved it here. And I just gave that a quick press just to make it easier to work with. Now, it's going to be a little tricky. I'm going to try to attach this with hot glue. So what I'm going to do is go around the widest part first, which is this outer rim. And I want the stripes to kind of be straight across, which I know is a little tricky. So what I did was just glued one panel on, and then I'm going to do this panel, but I'm going to try to make sure that it is on the same strand of burlap here at the top. And I do that on all 4 sides. I know I'm going to have to cut it at the corners to kind of make it make sense because of course it's going to be skinnier at the bottom. So it was a little bit tricky to cover this, a little bit more than I thought. At first I thought about doing a seam down the middle. I ended up moving that seam to the corner, but this was how I initially set it up. Now you'll notice that little red dot on the bottom of my vase. I had like kind of a rude awakening at Dollar Tree when I went to go get these supplies because they had no signs or warning of any kind, yet all the florals I use in these first 3 tablescapes were $1.75 instead of $1.25. I could not believe it. I thought the total sounded way too high. And then I looked at my receipt on the way to my car, and there was tons of $1.75, $1.75, $1.75. And I'm like, they could have told me. I guess they put red dots on the prices of things that are not $1.25 anymore to cover up the $1.25. So I guess faces are too. Who knew? I was not happy about that. But what you see is I just cut the corners and then I hot glued them down, kind of sandwiching them together there at the corners because there's going to be a little bit more fabric here at the bottom than at the top. And then I'm also going to leave a little bit of extra fabric on there so I can wrap that around the bottom to make it seamless. I don't really care about kind of the shaggy burlap corners because I wanted to look country, so I'm gonna be fine with that vibe. But I did want to try to make it take the shape of the vase as much as I could. So I knew it was going to be a little tricky when I went to cover it with that, but I do like how it turned out. So I left like a half an inch of fabric here on the bottom, and I'm gonna glue that down too. And I just kind of glue it, wrapping it like a present down here, like with the corners, and cutting off any excess fraying that might be sticking out. Now for the top of it, I just cut it as close as I can to the top of the vase. I think that's going to be fine. And then I want to use some Dollar Tree floral foam in there to hold my florals and my flags in place. And I am going to have to carve it a little bit to take that shape of the vase. And I'll just use some of my extra pieces to fill up any sides that might need something. And these are the flowers we're going to use, the hydrangeas from Dollar Tree. See that red sticker? Beware, beware of the red sticker. I'm like a sign or something. I looked for a sign. I really did, because I know that a lot of you guys have said that things are going to go up in price, but man, that was a rude surprise. Um and I found these in white and blue. I thought they're really pretty. I thought we could mix them together. So I cut some down shorter to be shorter flowers, and then left some intact like that to be taller. So I'm going to do the same thing here with the blue, mixing those in. And I couldn't find any red, but I think that's okay. I'm going to have a lot of red going on this table anyway. And I already have the red in the gingham burlap down below. So I just keep filling this up. I want this to look really full with flowers. And I love using flowers like this for 4th of July. I think it really looks pretty, and you don't have to do your traditional colors of blue like this. And I think that this color of blue looks really country. So I just keep adding to them. I did kind of some taller ones, shorter ones, and medium ones, and then kind of just blended them all together, just arranging it until it is super full of flowers. Then I'm going to add a couple of the Dollar Tree flags. These come in, I think it was a 3-pack. They're like the medium size little flags from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to add one here in each side, coming out of the sides like that. And they're nice and big. I think they look really good for a centerpiece. So let's place this here on the runner. And I think that looks really pretty and festive. For the rest of the runner, I'm going to use just a few things to decorate it. I thought these little wood tags from the Dollar Tree with the stars on there would be cute. And I kind of like them all together like this. Like Land of the Free, God Bless the USA. My little wood stars here, the white ones, were a little dinged up with some red paint on them. So I just gave mine a quick touch up, but I kind of like them like that. I can just kind of toss those on the runner and arrange them. I think they look kind of country, and I think that's going to provide like just some fun things here on the table that look interesting. So I'm going to put some on both sides. I chose different ones that had different signs on there for a little bit of variety. And I think that looks pretty good. Now for the next item, I'm going to use a little galvanized metal star. They're like little trays from the Dollar Tree, and these are on sale for 25 cents at my Dollar Tree right now. So I picked up 2 of those, and then I'm going to use some of the little tea light candle holders, the glass ones from the Dollar Tree, to add in there to make these into candles. But for a little color, I thought I would use some of that red sand from the Dollar Tree to fill it up a little bit. And that's going to give me a pop of color and look fun for the 4th of July. So it works well with candles too. I'm just going to put the little glass tea light candle holders down inside and pop in some of the Dollar Tree tea lights here. And we can have some candles on the party table. Really easy to do. A nice pop of color, and I think this is going to look really cute. I'm going to put it here towards the end, so like I don't have to worry about candles and the flags getting too close to each other. But I think that fills out the middle part of the table really nicely. Here's a little closer view of how I DIY'd this part of the table. Now I'm going to show you how I did my place settings. I picked up these little placemats from the Dollar Tree that are red. I thought these would look fun for like a country theme. I like the texture on them, and I thought this would be a really easy way for a placemat. And it's kind of fine overlapping that really thin table runner. It doesn't really take away from it at all, because they are kind of large. And then for the plates, I found these plates at the Dollar Tree. I think they're so pretty. I guess they're the summer plates. I think they look like fireworks. So I thought these would be perfect for 4th of July. So I'm going to add that to the little placemat like that. I love the blue and red together. And then for a little decor for the plate, I thought we could add one of these little wood cutout stars from the Dollar Tree in red. Now, I don't know if they have these in white. If they do, I think white would look cute too. Against the blue tray, I'm just going to take the wood beads and the twine off of them and remove any staples. So I just have a wood star, something that's going to be easy to move, but it's going to be decorative there for the top of my plate. Isn't that so cute? And I think that that cutout goes really well with the country vibes of this tablescape. And then it's time for napkins. I'm going to use a Dollar Tree bandana. These come in the 2 packs. I thought this one looked really country. I love the blue gingham. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to use this as a napkin. I never really thought about using these as a napkin, but 2 for $1.25 is a good deal for a cloth napkin. And so I just give it a quick iron just to make it look better. And then I fold it in half with the back of the bandana here on the outside. I fold it in half again so I have a quarter. And then I'm going to flip it so that my open corner is in the top left, folding that back towards me and then turning it over. I fold it into thirds and into thirds again, and then I tuck this corner down into this little pocket. Now, when I flip over my bandana napkin, I have a little pocket here that can hold my silverware. So this is a really easy way to fold fabric napkins or bandanas for napkins. I'm going to use real silverware since we're using real plates on this one. And I just tuck in my silverware set like that. And I think this looks so pretty. I don't know why I never thought to use bandanas as cloth napkins before, but it really gives kind of a high-end look to this little tablescape. And then to drink, I thought mason jars from the Dollar Tree would be perfect to go with that country theme. Just a mason jar for a cup. I'm just going to remove the lid and wash that and add that to the tablescape. And I think that is going to be a perfect cup for this theme. I love it. And so this is how this little place setting is for the country 4th of July. I think it's really cute. I went ahead and did that 3 more times, so I have a total of 4 place settings, and this is how it all looks together with the country 4th of July theme. Then I thought it would be really fun too to add some bandanas to the chairs. And so I'm going to use some of the navy bandanas from the Dollar Tree. This comes in a 2-pack with the red. And I'm just going to tie the corners after folding it in half. And that way I can make a little chair cover to go on the back of the chair where you'll be decorated on both sides. And it'll look kind of country there with that bandana, I think. And I just can just place it like that. And I think that goes with the theme really well. Now, I also wanted to give you paper plate options if you don't want to do dishes and you want just paper plates. So I found these Oh My Stars plates from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to show you what they look like with the paper plate option as well. Aren't those cute? So I just added that directly to the placemat, just like I did with the real plates. And then I'm going to show you how you can actually fold the Dollar Tree napkins too and make them look a little bit prettier. So this is one with like all kinds of 4th of July words all over it. And I fold it in half with the back on the outside like that. And I'm going to fold it the same way. So corner down after I folded it again. And then I fold it over, fold it into thirds to the right and then to the left. And then I can tuck that into the pocket. It's going to be a lot smaller than the bandana, of course, but I think it's going to be fine for some plastic cutlery that you can also get at Dollar Tree. So I chose red and I'm going to do the fork, knife, and spoon in here. And so you can do that fun pocket fold even with the Dollar Tree paper napkin. So that's a fun little hack for you. I'm going to add that there to the paper plate. I thought that that napkin would go really well with that plate and not too matchy-matchy. And then for glass, I'm just going to use blue party cup that I got at Dollar General because I had a lot of red going on. And this is what it looks like with the paper plate option. So I think that that is turned out really pretty too. So I wanted to give you lots of options for your 4th of July party. Of course, not all of us want to do the dishes after a party. Now, the next tablescape we're going to do is a stars and stripes tablescape. And again, using items from the Dollar Tree, but I wanted this one to be kind of based on like flag, traditional 4th of July. For the table runner, I'm actually going to use one of the door banners from the Dollar Tree. So these are $1.25, which is a great price for a runner. All I have to do is cut off the little grommet and the hanger on this. It's almost the same length as my table. So I just cut straight across there, and since I was doing stars and stripes, this looks like a flag. I think it's going to be perfect for that. I don't know why they don't sell it as a table runner as well. And so I'm going to cut this part off right here. And we'll make this little banner a table runner. Now it was a little rolled up there. I did give it a quick press there so that it doesn't roll up like that. I want it to lay flat on my table. So again, I just gave it a little press here with my auto press, and it ironed just fine to make sure that it's nice and flat. We don't want anything rolling up like that. So let's go add this to my table for a stars and stripes 4th of July party. I'm going to lay this down with the blue and white stars here on the left. And as you can see, it's almost the same length as my table. So it works out really well for a table runner. And it's a fun use of those door banners. I mean, you really don't need very many of those. So that is a fun hack for those. And they seem to be pretty readily available. Now for the centerpiece, I picked up a blue flower pot from the Dollar Tree, which is kind of navy. And I thought we would make a plant, make it look like some greenery and add some red, white, and blue flowers to this. So I'm just going to take some Dollar Tree floral foam and cut this piece up to fill up the flower pot. I'm not going to weigh it down or anything. It's a centerpiece, so I think it's going to be heavy enough to stand on its own. And I just kind of break it up to fill up the entire flower pot. And then I found a couple different kinds of eucalyptus at the Dollar Tree. I like that these are different colors of green, so I thought that that would make it look a little bit more realistic with the different colors of green. So that one's kind of a more muted. This is a more brighter green. But I'm just cutting them with my wire cutters and filling this up to make this look like a plant that we can add flowers to. I like the pop of green on this. It's kind of a surprise for a centerpiece, but it also makes it kind of lower using a pot instead of a vase for their centerpiece. Once I get it filled up with greenery, I'm going to take a little bit of floral moss just to make sure you can't see any of that floral foam in there, and just kind of spread that around where I don't have anything, but it was pretty full. And then I found some great red, white, and blue flowers from the Dollar Tree. This one all came together. They're really tropical looking. So I thought we could use the red and blue flowers from this one. And I'm just going to use my wire cutters to cut those apart and add those to the greenery. I love how that looks together. I think it's really pretty. And there's only one white flower on there, and I really want some like white and yellow flowers. So I'm going to replace the white flower with some white and yellow flowers from a different arrangement. I kind of have a partial here with the white and yellow. You know, I hoard Dollar Tree flowers a lot, and it's a good thing. Since they went up in price, I'm going to need to use my flower hoard for sure. But I think the white and yellow really pops against the greenery and the red and blue, and it's a fun contrast with the other flowers on there. I only had 3, but I think that's enough. I just add that to it. And then I'm adding some of the little mini flags from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to do 2, one on each side. I like the size of these. They're a lot smaller than the other ones that we used. And I'm going to add one here on each side, kind of having them drape down into the greenery and the flowers, one on each side. So I think that looks good, and this is going to be a fun centerpiece to go on the table runner for a stars and stripes theme. I like the red, white, and blue. Of course, we had to have the flag in there. And the flower pot was kind of a fun idea for that. So I'm just going to place that right there in the center of my table. Now, I didn't want to do anything else to really take away from the stars and stripes, but I did want candles. So I'm going to use just these little glass candles from the Dollar Tree with the votives already in them. They're white, they're neutral, they won't take away from all that stars and stripes, but I can also light them and have some fun candles on the party table. So I'm just going to line those down, 2 on each side. Just kind of spreading those out. And whenever I can do real candles, I always try to do that. I think they're so pretty and fun, especially for a table. Now for the placemat, I found this from actually Dollar General. I think they were $3 for these. They're so pretty and really versatile. I thought they would go with lots of fun themes like coastal, but I think they were going to provide a nice backdrop for a stars and stripes theme for this. And it's not going to take away from all the fun things we're going to add to it. For the chargers, I'm using the star chargers. These are right now in the graduation aisle at Dollar Tree. They are silver, but I think that's going to be fine. And I think it's going to be really fun for a star for the 4th of July. So I'm going to add that to that charger. And it's really neutral. It's going to provide a nice backdrop for these blue plates from the Dollar Tree. I think these are so pretty. They definitely remind me of the 4th of July with that starburst pattern. And it just really reminds me of a firework. So I'm going to add real plates to this tablescape as well, adding this on top of the star charger. It actually gives you kind of a layered look, but I really like how that looks together. And then for the napkins on this one, since I'm doing a stars and stripes theme, I'm going to use the American flag bandana. So again, these come in a 2-pack, and I am going to fold my silverware into these, but I'm going to give them a quick press first just to make the napkin look a little better, the bandana napkin, and I'm going to fold it in half like this. And then again, so I have the star pattern on the top, and then I fold that up. I actually have it upside down, so let me flip this around. So I fold that down like that, right? And then I turn it over, fold it in thirds, and then fold it in thirds again. We're going to do another pocket fold for a cloth napkin. I'm going to tuck that little corner in and then turn it over. And then I like how the stars are on that one part and the stripes are on the other part. I kind of folded it that way on purpose so I could get the stars and stripes. And then I'm going to add some real silverware here to it. And I think this is perfect for a stars and stripes theme. I'm going to place it right on top of the plate. You could also do it to the side if you wanted, but I really liked that pop of the flag color on top of the plate. For glass, I'm just going to use a glass that I got. These are actually from the Dollar Tree, but I actually use these from day to day. They're really nice glasses, and I'm just going to sit this over here to the side. And this is how this Stars and Stripes tablescape place setting looks. I think it's really cute. I'm going to do that 3 more times, and then I'll show you how they all look together. I wanted to give you lots of options for your tablescape, and we also have party tables coming later on in the video. Doesn't this look so cute? I love all the stars and stripes. Everything there was from the Dollar Tree except for the chargers I got at Dollar General. But I think they turned out really pretty. I love this theme. Very simple. Now I wanted to give you a paper plates option too, so I'm going to use the Oh My Stars paper plates from the Dollar Tree, and I also picked up some red star plates from the Dollar Tree that I thought would be fun for a dessert plate. So I will show you how they look with both of those options on that great silver star charger from the Dollar Tree. So cute. These were the only plates I could find at my Dollar Tree. I don't mind the fact that they're square. I think that that's kind of cute. So this is what it would look like with a paper plate option on top of the silver charger. And since I did a paper plate, I'm going to show you how I can do a paper napkin DIY for that as well. So I picked the star napkin. I guess that goes with the Oh My Stars plates. And then we'll just add some of the red plastic silverware from the Dollar Tree. So just like before, I'm going to open it up, fold it with the outside out like that, and then fold it again. And now you should be a pro by now. I fold down the corner, I flip it over, and then I fold it in thirds and then in thirds again and tuck it into the pocket. If you can't tell, this is definitely one of my favorite way to fold a napkin for a dinner party. I love the little pocket that it provides, and it makes setting a place setting really easily. So I just add some plastic silverware, and the pop of red from the silverware is really cute. You could always use some heavy duty silverware if you don't really like the Dollar Tree cutlery. It is a little bit small, But I think it's really pretty here, and this is what the paper napkins look like next to the paper plates. And then for a plastic cup, I picked up these red party cups from Dollar Tree from the party aisle. I think these are perfect for the 4th of July, just as they are. I'm going to add that for a little pop of red back here next to the plate. So this is an option you could do with paper plates. And I'm going to do that 3 more times and show you how that looks together on the party table. So that's another easy option. You still get that stars and stripes vibe, but no dishes afterwards for sure. But I like just the candles on there. I think that's really cute. And I promised you I'd show you how the dessert plate looked too. Look how cool the dessert plate looks on those silver chargers. Really fun. The next tablescape theme I have for you is floral and gingham. I wanted to go for a fun aesthetic feel, and I think this came together really well because you don't always have to do stars and stripes for the 4th of July. Sometimes you can get a little bit more creative for a beautiful table. I got another glass vase from the Dollar Tree with the red mystery sticker on here. Look at that, covering up that $1.25. Dollar Tree, what are you doing to us? So I think this vase is really pretty. It's nice and large and kind of fluted. And I'm going to add some red, white, and blue baby's breath that I got at Dollar Tree. I think that's going to be really pretty for this theme. I want to mix together some unexpected things instead of stars and stripes, some other red, white, and blue options that I found from the Dollar Tree. Now, I do want to fill it up with some sand. I thought some of the Dollar Tree red sand would be really pretty. It is a pretty large vase, so it's definitely going to take more than one bag of the red sand, but that does provide a nice pop of color. I guess you could also use the white. I don't think they have blue. I don't think I have any blue. But I just added 2 bags of red here to that. This is about how full that makes it. And that's going to be great for arranging the greenery. And it's going to kind of hide the stems here in this since it is a clear vase. And this is the baby's breath that I got. I got red, white, and blue. I was only able to find one of the blue, but I think that's going to be okay. I found a lot of the red and white. So I'm going to cut these apart separately for some of the shorter flowers in the arrangement. And then I'm going to do the same thing here with the white baby's breath. I don't know why they call this baby's breath. I don't think that baby's breath really looks like this, does it? I always thought baby's breath was the real tiny flowers. I don't know. This was the only blue one that I could find. What I'm going to do is leave that all together and make that kind of taller than some of them because I want some taller flowers and of course some smaller ones. And then for the white ones, I just trimmed it off slightly at the end. And I'm going to do the same thing here with this red one. So I'm going to get more of a medium where that blue can be a little bit taller. And I'm just going to keep adding flowers to this until it is full. I did want it to be really full since it is a centerpiece. And again, just trying to vary my height slightly. If I can leave them all attached, I try to do that because they are wired. So it's going to be easy to arrange these. And I do want it to look a little bit more random. And I left them all in bunches. So once I got them all on there, I just kind of arranged them and bent the wires on these to make them look a little bit more varied. And I think just the one little dose of blue in there is plenty. And this is how our little centerpiece turned out. I'm not going to use a table runner on this one. I'm going to let my blue table shine in there. I'm going to add that right to the center of the table though. And then I'm going to scatter some wood stars around. So I'm going to use these wall charms from the Dollar Tree again. And I'm just going to remove the wood stars from these. And I just want the red and white stars to scatter around on my blue table. I think these are going to make really good party scatter, but really kind of look high end with like the wood-like feel of them. Just getting those little pesky staples out of the back was the only trick. I find the Cricut weeder works really well for that. And I think these are so cute. They don't give us a lot of things to craft with for 4th of July at Dollar Tree anymore. So this is one thing that you can definitely use. I'm just going to scatter the white and the red here on both sides, going down the middle of my table, even without a runner. And then for the candle DIY, I found this cute little white candle from the Dollar Tree, white clove, a jar candle. I'm going to combine that with one of the chunky wood stars from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to fill up the hole because it is an ornament with some spackle. And then I'm going to give it just a really easy stain with some antique wax by Waverly on the top and the sides. And this is going to be like the little base for my candle. I think this is going to be fun. I didn't really want to do red, white, and blue on this one. I thought we could just do the white candle and the stained wood would be a fun contrast because I'm going to add these on the table where the runner would be, you know, where I scattered those other wood stars. And I wanted a little bit more variety, so I thought the stained wood would look really pretty. So I'm going to do that twice so I can do one on each side, but I love the little white jar candle from the Dollar Tree. It's kind of unexpected and it looks a little vintage. So I'm going to do one of those for both sides and just kind of work that in between the two stars that I already scattered. Now for the placemat on this one, I found this great bag from the Dollar Tree, and I love the blue and white pattern on this. I thought this would be a really great material to make a placemat. So I'm just going to cut the front off of the bag, and I'm going to combine that with a Dollar Tree placemat. It is kind of thick. It is kind of plastic on there, so I think it's going to be great for a placemat. I wanted to add the placemat to it to provide a little bit more sturdiness to it, and so it's just not just so flimsy. So I just picked up another placemat from the Dollar Tree in a pattern that doesn't really work for 4th of July. And I'm going to use some Elmer's spray adhesive on here. I just spray it all over the top of the Dollar Tree placemat. And it's a nice thick bag, so I don't think you'll be able to see the pattern through it. And just place that there on the back of the bag. I just cut the fabric out bigger than I need. I'm going to remove the tag here on the back. That seemed to dry pretty fast, and now I can cut off the excess material here for the placemat. I found that if I cut it this direction, my scissors cut it even closer directly up against it. I want to make sure that I don't cut the placemat at all. I still want that great shape. And this was a good idea. At first I was just going to cut the material and not attach it, but I'm glad I did. It made the placemats a lot sturdier. And I think this turned out really pretty, and it should be really easy to wipe clean. And I love that pattern. I don't really know what you would call that pattern. If you know, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know which tablescape is your favorite. I'm curious to know. And then I'm going to be using the little blue starburst plates from the Dollar Tree for this one too. And I think this is going to look really pretty together with that placemat. They should make that into a placemat like that. It turned out really pretty. Now for the napkin on this one, I'm going to use one of the bandanas. This one is the gingham and stars. I really only want the gingham. And I'm going to kind of fold it where that's all you're going to be able to see. So let me give this a quick press, this bandana. This is the one that comes with the American flag one. And I am going to roll my silverware this time. So I'm going to fold it in half like this, because I really only want you to be able to see the gingham on this and not so much the stars. I want that red and white gingham. I think that's really fun for the 4th of July. I'm going to fold it like you do at a restaurant. So I stacked my silverware, folded left to right, folded right to left, and then fold up, enveloping my silverware in there. And then I just roll that all the way to the end. And now you can only see the red and white gingham. So that worked out really well. For a napkin ring, I'm going to use one of these hanging metal stars from the Dollar Tree. They already have wood beads on them and twine. So I just move half of the beads to one side so it'll be visible. And then just simply tie the twine off here. That will be easy to untie to get to the silverware. And I love the metal stars. I think that provides a nice touch. I just did the white ones like this. And I'm just going to lay that right on top of my plate for some silverware. And then for glassware, I'm just going to use the Dollar Tree glass, plain glass. It's not really going to take away from the colors, but it's not really going to distract from anything either. And that is the place setting for this one. It's really pretty. I am going to do some chair covers for this as well, but this is what it looks like when I did 3 more for a complete tablescape of like the gingham and the florals. I think it's a really fun color combination, and it's not real loud like the stars and the stripes for 4th of July. For the table covers though, I do want to add a flag. So I'm going to use the flag bandana from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to make a chair cover that looked way more high end than the chair covers that they have, the flag ones from the Dollar Tree. I just fold it over a couple of inches, hot glue it just on the edges to make a little pocket here at the top, and I can slide this over the back of my chair, and it's going to provide me a really nice little chair cover and a little pop of flag pattern back there to go with that print. I think they look really fun together. I really love how this turned out. I was really going for the aesthetic on this table, and I think that the flag really brings out a little bit of 4th of July. But I also want to show you a paper plate version. So for this one, I'm going to use the charger. I think the charger looks good without just sitting the paper plate directly on this placemat. I'm going to use the Oh My Stars paper plates from the Dollar Tree onto the little graduation charger. They kind of have a gray star on there too that kind of matches the silver charger tray. For the napkins on this paper version, I'm going to use the white one with all the blue and red stars all over. They have a lot of options for napkins from the Dollar Tree. I could only find one paper plate, but I could find lots of napkins. So again, I fold it in half, fold it again, and then bend down the corner, fold it in thirds, fold it in thirds, and we have an easy little pocket napkin here. All I got to do is flip that over and fill that up with some party wear. So I've given you lots of options for different plates and napkin combos and different themes, and I really like the paper plate options as well. I definitely think the charger made this look even better. Oh My Stars definitely goes with the star charger, right? And I'm just going to add my silverware over here to the right. And I love how that looks with that fabric that we used for the placemat. For the party cup, I'm just going to use the red party cups from the Dollar Tree. And this is the paper plate version of this tablescape. Still super cute. You get that fun aesthetic. And this, I did it 3 more times. This is how the entire table looks together. Isn't this so pretty? I really love how this turned out. It's definitely one of my favorite themes. So the next 4th of July party item we have is a coastal patriotic party table. I've done this on my channel. I think the coastal theme for a patriotic party table is really fun. So I really hope you enjoy these 4th of July DIY ideas as well.
Now, this I actually got at the party section at Target. It is like a light blue mermaid scale tablecloth, and I thought this was going to be the perfect starter for a beach theme 4th of July party. You know, it's a little bit better than the quality that you're going to get at Dollar Tree, but it's still kind of a thin plastic tablecloth. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just cover the party table with this. And I know it's not what you would think of with like traditional colors for 4th of July, but we're going to kind of make it work, right? So I also picked up some of this fishing net from the Dollar Tree. They always have this in the summer section at Dollar Tree. It's not my favorite, but I do like to use it on large projects like this because, you know, it's a rather big net. In most little DIYs, it doesn't work too well, but we're going to make this work. This is kind of how it looks when you open it up. And we are just going to string this along the table. It's going to, you know, just be fun, coastal feel. We have a fishnet just kind of thrown around. But we still have all that beautiful color coming from like the mermaid tablecloth underneath. Now, this is like a balloon I picked up at Dollar Tree, just like a red star balloon, a blue star balloon, and then I'm going to use a Dollar Tree a red bottle to kind of make a weight, like a little decorative display to attach the balloons to it. And you know I love window clings from the Dollar Tree. You can do so many different things with it. What I wanted off this one was just the little American flag. And so I just kind of cut that off of the back of the truck. Just something fun that we can decorate the little red bottles. And most of my Dollar Trees seem to have these little red bottles like in like with the kitchen glassware and stuff like that. Pretty much year round. And then I want to give it a coastal touch, right? So I'm going to use one of those little mermaid clothespins from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to simply clip that to the front. I'm just going to leave it like natural wood like that. I just wanted a little bit of coastal feel in with this, along with the patriotism of the United States flag. And then I thought some of this white glitter coral would be really cute as well. This is also from the Dollar Tree. And so what I do is I tie my balloons off to just directly onto the white glitter coral. And this is like a 4th of July greenery they have every year for the 4th of July at my stores. And then I'm just going to push that down inside the bottle. And that is going to weigh my balloons down and be a cute little display here on my party table. I'm going to sit it here towards the back over on the left side. And here are our red and blue star balloons. I love that color of blue. I think that looks really coastal. And there's a little bit better view. Now, these pots are from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree. They seem to have them every year. They had them again this year. I don't really like the distressing that they do on them. I know, it's shocker. I don't like distressing, right? So what I like to do with mine is take fingernail polish remover, and just take it all off, and you get like a great like metal pot underneath, and you can kind of paint, you know, the design on there, do whatever you want to do with it from there. I just think it makes them look better because I never tend to really want to pick them up. And I notice other people don't too, because they like all my stores still have these and most of the Shore Living items are gone. So just a quick little Dollar Tree hack to make those look better. It already looks better, right? So that was the crab one. This one is the starfish one. And I'm just doing the same thing on that, just removing all the distressing and exposing like the shiny metal underneath. And then I wanted to add a little bit of color to mine. I did a total of 3. I did the crab, the seahorse, and the starfish. Now I'm going to do something really fun and beachy with these. They're not just going to be plants. But I want to stick with that red, white, and blue like theme. So I'm just using a red Sharpie paint pen. Actually, this one isn't a Sharpie, just a red paint pen. And I am just kind of sketching out the crab. You can see exactly where you kind of need to paint it. Just paint over like the raised areas, you know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does look great, I think, with a little dose of color on there. Now for the seahorse, I'm going to do light blue, because that's going to kind of match that blue tablecloth and that blue balloon. We're doing like a red, white, and blue, but we're doing a beachy blue because this is going to be a coastal theme. We're at the 4th of July party, and I do the starfish and the little seahorse on this one as well. And see, the stars go with the, 4th of July theme too. Now this one is just starfish. So we did red and blue on the other one. So this one is going to be white. Easy peasy way to decorate with these. I want to display all of these together and do something really beachy and fun with these. And I'm gonna actually put pink flamingos in them, but we're actually gonna do patriotic pink flamingos. So I'm gonna use Dollar Tree foam, some of the little blocks kind of cut down. And it took about 2 to fill up each pot. And then we can decorate them. I want to cover up the foam so you can't see it though. So I do use a little bit of Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree and just do a thin layer of Spanish moss over the top of those. And those pots are ready to go. Now here are the 3 pink flamingos, as you can see. Looks like one of them got a smashed tail. Sometimes you got to take what you can get at Dollar Tree, right? We can make that work. But I thought it'd be really fun to do patriotic flamingos. So doing that red, white, and blue theme, but with pink flamingos. So I love painting these. I think it always provides a good texture on their feathers and stuff like that. This is the first time that I really got creative with changing the colors on them. And I love how it turned out. It was so fun. So we'll have a flamingo in each one of the little Shore Living pots. And this one I am painting red. I'm using chalk paint just because I had it, but you could probably use any kind of red acrylic as well. And we're just going to go over all of the parts of the pink flamingo that were pink and make them red. Gonna kind of leave the beak and stuff as it is. Don't need to be making any unnecessary work. And there is our little red flamingo. Super cute. I'm just going to use the existing metal legs that come with it to stand that up into the pot. So that'll be nice and easy. So here is our second little pink flamingo. This one is going to be, I'm going to go ivory. I usually use ivory instead of white. It looks good with my coastal decor in my home. I have a lot of ivory furniture. And so I'm painting this little pink flamingo ivory. And the only reason I'm using a brush is so I can kind of get down in between all that cute like feather pattern on our little flamingos. And so this one is going to be our white one. I am painting over like the eyes. That's really the only feature that I am covering up on these. And I will have to go back and kind of, you know, add eyes back to these once they're painted. But that is our little white flamingo. And then this is our third one. This one's going to be blue. And the chalk paint that I'm using on this one is the color agave. Just a nice light beachy blue. You can use any kind of a light blue. If you wanted to do traditional colors like, you know, with a royal blue or a navy blue, like what's on a flag, it would be super cute to do that as well. And you can always display these in your yard for a 4th of July party decoration. That would be really fun too. I wanted to make mine a party table decoration. And so that is what we're doing here. So here's our little blue one. I think that was my favorite. It looks really interesting in blue, right? And then I'm just kind of touching my beak up, drawing some eyes on here with a black paint pen, since we kind of covered those up before. And here's our little white one, kind of touching him up as well. And our little blue flamingo. Don't they look super cute together? I love this DIY. It's so fun. And it totally made like my coastal 4th of July theme for this. So we're going to do the red one in the starfish pot here. And so we're just going to put the legs back in it. They already have little holes on them to stand them up. And since they are kind of small flamingos, I think they work really well in a pot, scale wise. And kind of stand that one up there. Kind of hard to show you. And then in the little blue, I kind of mixing up the colors, as you can see. This is the blue seahorse pot. I'm going to put the white flamingo. Give him his little metal legs and stand him in there too. And then with the last blue flamingo, we're going to do this one in the red crab pot. And then I found a really cute little plant stand at the Target dollar spot, which I'm going to use to help display these. That way I can kind of display them at different levels. And this is it. It was so cute. $5. I still use this thing. I love it. I love buying stuff like that at the Target dollar spot. My Target dollar spot's been lacking lately. But now they're starting to get some cute stuff in again. They got some really cute bee stuff just recently. So I'm going to kind of sit that on the other back corner of my party table. And then we can put our pots back here. These are going to provide some nice height here to the back of the party table. And just kind of stack our pots right on there full of our flamingos. The red one, the white one, and the blue one. I think they're so fun. Feel free to like snatch up all of those little pink flamingos at the Dollar Tree and make some patriotic ones. They're so cute. I love them. Now, the blue one, I decided I forgot I did this. The blue one, I decided I wanted it to be a little bit lighter blue. So I went back and mixed some ivory with mine and made mine a little bit lighter because this is just me being extra, but that's what I did. I wanted to show you that real quick. Now, this is something else I found at Target. It is a little picnic basket. They have some really cute stuff like this for summer. And it's not like a big enough picnic basket to use really. But I thought it'd be cute to add to the theme of the party table for a 4th of July party. And just using some items from the Dollar Tree to make it look patriotic. I'm just going to kind of line the inside of the little picnic basket with one of these little patriotic bandanas from the Dollar Tree. Kind of at an angle like that, I can kind of pull that one through. Kind of like the lining of a basket. It's going to provide a little punch of color, a little bit of decor. And then I'm actually going to use this to display my plates for the party. And then I'm going to do an American flag here just on the back. This is just one of the little American flags from the Dollar Tree. And I don't really need the little flagpole on it. So I just trimmed that down, and then we are just going to display this here on the back. That way I can kind of leave it open. It's going to have a flag on the back. It's going to go with that, 4th of July feel, but it's also very summery with a little picnic basket. I thought they'd be a really cute thing. I only want it to be very temporary though, so I just do a couple of dots of hot glue to keep the flag back there. Now it is ready for some patriotic plates. I decided to go with my beach theme though, and decided to do like light blue ones. These are the ones, they have these every year in the summer. They have them right now at Target. The little melamine plates back in the kitchen aisle. They're only like 50 cents a piece. And I got this beautiful beachy blue ones, and that's what we're going to use for our party. But you could use any kind of patriotic or coastal. I wanted some blue ones to kind of go with that blue theme, and I thought they matched the tablecloth really well. So we're going to kind of sit that in the back of our party table, holding our plates. It's functional, and it's super cute little picnic basket from Target Dollar Spot. Now, this is another one of the little shore living pots from the Dollar Tree. This is the oval one that says "Wish Upon a Starfish." And again, I don't like the distressing, so I'm using a little fingernail polish remover to remove all of that. And I thought this would be a really easy holder for patriotic napkins. I just picked up some of the flag napkins from the Dollar Tree. And I think with the oval shape, it's going to be a great size just to be able to put napkins right inside. But first, I have to give it this little makeover first. Doesn't it look better without that distressing on there? And then I'm going to use like my white paint pen, kind of put the words back on here, just kind of tracing around, super easy, because you kind of have that raised edge. You know exactly where to kind of draw that back on. And I'm going to have "Wish Upon a Starfish" in white. And I thought that the starfish, definitely goes with a 4th of July theme to bring in the coastal to this project. And then a little light blue with paint pen on some of the starfish here, and red on one as well, so we can do that red, white, and blue theme. Super easy and super cute. I love the colors from this party. So that looks good. I'm only going to do the front because that's all you're going to be able to see. And then I'm just going to fill it up with the little patriotic American flag napkins from the Dollar Tree. And we can add that to our party table here next to our plates. Now, I wanted to do something really fun for silverware. I always like to do fun little whimsical cutlery trays. So I picked up red, silver, and blue metal buckets from the Dollar Tree and a Dollar Tree wall shelf. I thought we could do a fun like red, white, and blue. It's not necessarily white, but we have a lot of silver going on today too. And so it's just a matter of decorating them. The light blue one, I do like a little firework window decal on the front to decorate that one. The galvanized metal, I did some like little exploding fireworks. The red one really doesn't need anything because I got like the one with the little star cutouts in it. I think that might be from I don't think it's necessarily 4th of July. I think mine was with some of the Juneteenth, but it might be in either section. And here is a Dollar Tree wood shelf to use for the base of it. They're nice and thick, and I think it's going to be just the right size. And then I decided to leave like some of the rope on there to make little tiny rope handles for the side of the cutlery tray. And I just knot that on the bottom. Super easy DIY here to do. And then we'll have 3 buckets. We'll have one for plastic forks, one for plastic spoons, and one for plastic knives. So easy to put this together and so fun. Now it's just a matter of attaching them. I'm just going to use hot glue. I don't want it to be super permanent. And I just do a couple of dots of hot glue on each side of each tin just to hold it in place for the party, but something that I can always break down after the party. And we've done a lot of the silver pot, so I think that silver one looks really good with that, but it brings in that bright red, it brings in the light blue, and I'm just going to do like clear plastic silverware. It's my favorite, kind of goes with any theme. And I kind of like the premium plastic ones a little bit better than the cheaper ones that you can find. But we're just going to load this up and it's going to be ready to go for our party table. Super cute, super fun. We're going to put this over here in front of our little red, white, and blue flamingos. Cute and functional. Now, this is a DIY. I actually got this on clearance. It's one of their like that beachy mint green color. It is just a lantern from like their garden section. They had it on clearance at my store, and I'm just going to kind of decorate it. And using some items from the Dollar Tree, some things from the Target Dollar Spot. The 4 is a house number that I got at the Target Dollar Spot. I thought that would be cute, and I thought we could make this kind of functional, but also a decoration piece for the table. Spit it out, Julie. And so I'm going to use some Dollar Tree galvanized letters for the TH, and then a Dollar Tree happy sign. So it'll say Happy 4th, but it's going to be like have a candle inside and light up as well. So this was really easy to do. I wanted to do that same red, white, and light blue theme. And this is a perfect like beachy color that goes well with the tablecloth and a lot of the stuff we've done today, the plates and stuff like that. I did want my letter to be red though, so I'm just going to paint the front of it bright red with some acrylic paint. And I want to attach that to the front of my little lantern. They have some really cute lanterns like this at the Target Dollar Spot right now too, that you might be able to do something similar with. And a couple of dots of hot glue, because this is going to be kind of temporary. And I actually still use this lantern. I'm at my Florida room. I love it. And I just peeled those off after the party, but just a little hot glue to make it say 4th on the front. It's got like the frosted panels on the inside. And then for the top piece, I thought I would make a little lid for it. We're just going to use battery operated candle inside so it can be closed. And I'm doing that with one of these little wood happy signs from the Dollar Tree and some Dollar Tree craft wood. And I wanted it to be bright red to go with that red, white, and blue theme. And so I'm just using a makeup sponge from the Dollar Tree and some red acrylic paint. And we're just going to paint this happy bright red. And then attach that to this craftwood piece that was just about the right size to make a cute little lid for the top of it. Some of the time this craftwood is a little messy, so you might need to sand it to get started. But this is just kind of a fun DIY, and I got that little lantern for like little to nothing. All of that stuff is starting to go on clearance in the garden section at your Target, so you might want to keep an eye on it. They have a great deal on fire pits and stuff like that right now at my store, because I know they're itching to get like back to school stuff out. And then I'm just going to use a little wood riser from the Target Dollar Spot as well to give it a little bit more height. For the candle inside, I'm just going to use one of these little battery operated candles from the Dollar Tree in white, so that I can turn that on and light up the lantern, but it can still have a lid. It can still be super safe. And after the party, I actually put this out in front of my house for a cute little patriotic DIY. And here's our little lid. So I'm going to use a riser just so you can see it. I love those little risers from the Target Dollar Spot. You get like 3 of them in a package. And our little 4th lantern red on top fits nicely. And then the lid that says happy right here on top. So it's kind of a functional piece because it lights up, but it's also definitely a decorative. So just a fun little happy 4th DIY for your party table. And then I decided I kind of wanted the riser to go the other way. That way it'd be the same width. I think that looked good that way. Now this is another Target Dollar Spot piece. It is one of their metal trays. $5, really nice size, and I thought this would be great for beverages. I picked up some red like solo cups from the Dollar Tree for some party cups. We had like the blue plate, so I definitely wanted to do like red for the cups. And then this is not really, is it a flamingo? It might be like a swan, but it kind of gives me flamingo vibes. I picked that up at the Target Dollar Spot for $1, and I'm actually going to use that for a straw holder for some Dollar Tree red and white star straws. Kind of put that all together. I'm also going to use some of the Shore Living straws just for fun to bring in that coastal theme a little bit too. And the colors provide a little bit of blue and silvers to it. Definitely goes with all the colors that we've been using today. And we'll make a little drink tray here. It's kind of full, but we're going to make it work. Put him right here in front. And then I picked up a light blue little pitcher that we can use on that beverage tray from the Dollar Tree, and the color is perfect. And kind of sit that over here on this side of the table. So we have cups, plates, silverware, and you know, we need a little bit more coastal decor, right? So I'm going to use some of these little white starfish from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree. I love these. I pick up so many of these every year, and we'll use those for party decor as well.
Now, let me give you a look around at this fun 4th of July party table. I think it turned out really cute. Like the addition of like the aqua color, I think really makes it super cute. We have that little lantern back there that will actually light up. So that is like kind of a functional piece as well. But the drink tray there with red, white, and blue. Very pretty theme for 4th of July, I think. Using items like that little planter there for napkins and stuff like that is a great idea and something that you can reuse after your party's over. I adore the little picnic basket back there. And I think probably my favorite thing from this party was the red, white, and blue flamingos. How cute are they? And you know, you could actually do that DIY for outside as well for your 4th of July decor. It would be so cute. And they actually hold up pretty well. You should be able to use them like year to year. The mermaid scale tablecloth and the fishnet, the starfish, stuff like that. I think it really ties everything together. A very beautiful theme, and I think that like the red like really pops against all of that like light aqua color. And of course, Dollar Tree is a great place to get balloons and stuff like that that you need for your party. But everything was super inexpensive, really fun to put together. I'm always looking for a way to use those little Shore Living planters back there. They don't tend to sell out too quickly at my stores like the other Shore Living items. And of course, the flamingos should be available now. Now, the next party table theme I have for the 4th of July is more of the ice cream and popsicle theme. They seem to have a lot of those items at the Dollar Tree, and this is how I incorporated some of those into a 4th of July party table, and I hope you enjoy. The tray that I got at the Target Dollar Spot for $5. It says something on it, but we're just going to cover it up. I'm actually going to use a Dollar Tree bag with like the ice cream and popsicle design all over it, Patriotic. The great thing about this is it's made out of that plastic material. You could be able to put drinks and stuff on there. It's not going to damage it. And so I just simply sit the tray on top of it and kind of sketch it out with a Sharpie so I know that I can cut down the material so we can make a liner for it. Now, Dollar Tree Plus has trays now too, in addition to the Dollar Spot, so you might be able to pick up some there. I've picked up some really cute trays like this from Dollar Tree Plus for like $5. They have them like in wood, they have them in white, so that could totally work as well. I did have to trim it down a little bit more because, of course, you have to kind of take in consideration the sides of it. But I just cut it down to size, and then all I'm going to do is attach it to the inside
I just used a little bit of hot glue on the sides just to secure it down. And easy peasy, we have a little ice cream tray for the 4th of July. Now up next, I wanted to show you how you could use some of these little window clings from the Dollar Tree and kind of customize stuff you already have. So I already have like a bamboo utensil organizer, and I was reading on the back of the spray glue from the Dollar Tree that if you spray it on there and leave it for a minute, it will be like removable. And so that is what I'm going to try to do. So I just sprayed it on there. I left it for the time that it said on the back. I think it was like a minute or so. And then I put it on there, and it was super easy to remove after my 4th of July party. But I'm just going to do a little Patriotic ice cream bar right on the front of that. Easy peasy, use what I already have, and just kind of customize it to go with your party theme. I filled mine with red silverware from the Dollar Tree and some Patriotic napkins. Up next, I'm just going to show you, I already have like a white, like melamine plastic pitcher that I can use for the party. And you can always just take the decals and put them straight on there. I was afraid though, if you're going to put a cold beverage in there, that like the moisture on the outside of it was probably going to make the decal like fall off like during the party. So I decided to do the same technique I did for the little cutlery tray. And I just sprayed that spray glue on there, left it on there for a minute, and then attached that to the front of it. And I have like so many Ray done things like this, so it's always easy to customize the other side of these because you kind of have a plain canvas, but you could always use like a picture from the Dollar Tree as well. And I kind of put mine on a Dollar Tree tray and just use some Patriotic cups, some from the Dollar Tree, some from TJ Maxx, I think. I just wanted to give you quick easy DIYs for parties. And the next DIY, I want to take 2 of these little wood star signs from the Dollar Tree, and I thought I could put them together and kind of make a plate holder for the party to hold paper plates in. And I'm going to use that same bag that we used on the tray before and just use a Sharpie to cut out a star pattern. So I'm just using the back of that bag so it doesn't go to waste. And this is a great way to cover a sign like that and kind of customize it, make it your own. Again, we're going with that ice cream, like popsicle theme for this one. The next party that I'm going to show you too is going to be a coastal 4th of July party. So if you like that idea more, stick around because we have that party today as well. So to attach the bag to the front of the star, I'm just doing a rather thick layer of Mod Podge and then laying the bag right on top like that. That I thought would be like the front of the plate holder, and then I could use the other star for the back, and then we'll use something from the Dollar Tree to kind of, make it all go together. I didn't want the wood to look just, bare and plain, so I did decide to stain mine with a little Antique Wax by Waverly, just to give it a little character, and wipe off the excess with a paper towel. You could kind of see the sides, and so I do kind of stain them as well, just to make it look a little bit cleaner. And this is what I thought we could use for the bottom. It's just like one of the little wood palette signs they have from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to stain it too, just to make sure that it kind of all goes together. It's a little bit wide. You might want to use something smaller, but we're going to go for it. And I do use hot glue to put this together, as you can see. It didn't seem real strong for the purpose of a plate holder, and so I do go back and reinforce it here in a little bit, and I will show you that as well. But hot glue gives me a good start. That is going to be the bottom of the holder. And you could do this on a smaller scale with some of the smaller wood hearts too. Or not hearts, stars too. And you can maybe make a napkin holder in the same kind of way. Basically, you just need a front and a back and a bottom. And there it is. I think it is good to go. The only thing was I didn't think it was going to stay together. So I'm just going to use some little tiny picture hanging nails. And I am just going to nail those through the wood sign into the little palette board right there on those little support beams they had on each side, just to reinforce it. And this actually did hold up well through the party, and I think I still have it. So I just put all 4 of these in here, just a fun way to add your theme to another project like that. And I filled my mind with paper plates. My pictures are not great from this party, but don't worry, I do have video footage of all the things we made today, so you'll get a little bit of a closer look. I did decide to stay in that very front part as well because you could kind of see it, but super easy little DIY plate holder for a 4th of July party. I'm loving the ice cream and popsicle theme. I'm not sure if they have the same exact ones this year. I think they have maybe a little bit different with the decals, but they definitely do have patriotic ice cream theme. Now, the next sign is I'm going to just turn one of those little garden flags for 4th of July into a sign that you can kind of hang inside. Now, they're very thin, so I'm taking Dollar Tree white fabric, and I'm just going to cut down a piece to be like a lining to put behind it to kind of make the colors pop, make it not so thin, make it look a little bit more, professional, something that will look more like a 4th of July party sign, less like a garden flag. And so I just kind of want to line the back of it. Now, I do want to weigh down the bottom, and I thought the wood rulers from Dollar Tree would be great to attach the lining to the wood flag and also kind of provide structure for our little sign. And so I just glue the 2 layers of fabric together with a little bit of hot glue to start, and then I'm just going to attach a ruler to the back. It's the perfect size. You don't have to cut it or anything. That's going to weigh down the bottom of the flag, make it a little bit sturdier, and it will hang flat against my wall for a party decoration. And then for the top, I did the same thing. I just hot glued the fabric down, and then I hot glued a ruler on top to provide some structure for the top. Easy peasy. We have a little star, stripes, and summer nights sign using a garden flag. The next DIY is probably my favorite. I'm using one of the little Dollar Tree chalkboards. You guys know I love those things because they're a nice size and thickness sign from the Dollar Tree. It's just a matter of removing that pesky tag on the back. But this DIY turned out super cute. So I'm going to use this sign in combination with one of the little ice cream signs from the Dollar Tree. Just getting that all cleaned up so we can have a nice blank surface to work with for this DIY. Now, the back of it, I don't really want all that chalkboard writing on, so I'm just going to use some cheap like wood contact paper from the Dollar Tree to just cover the back quickly. Just something I like to do on my Dollar Tree DIYs. I don't want them to look all bad on the back of it, you know what I mean? And I just cut off the excess. And we're going to use the plain black side for this DIY. I am going to make it a horizontal sign though, not vertical. So I do need to use a little Dollar Tree spackle just to fill those holes over on the side. And then we're going to make it blue. So I wanted to do a fun like ice cream theme sign. I'm using that little ice cream sign, but I wanted a blue background. And we're going to use a combination of that sign and Cricut vinyl to make a sign. I believe the color that I'm using is Ocean, is chalk paint. It did take several coats of it, even though it was chalk paint, probably because I was going over black. Maybe if I would have did like a coat of white first, it wouldn't have required so many coats, but it did require quite a few. And then I used my Cricut to cut out some words, and I'm using my favorite paper, transfer paper. You guys know I love that. And here is our little ice cream cone. I'm not going to use the pink glittery side. We're going to use the back on this one as well. And here are the rest of our letters that we're cutting out in the meantime in red. I did Liberty in like a cursive font and Sweet in like a bold font. Not sure if I still have the fonts that I used on these, but I'll have to look it up and see if I do. If I do, I'll put it in the description below. But they turned out so cute together. I definitely wanted more than one color, and so that is where we have, it's going to be Sweet Land of Liberty is what I wanted to say to go with the ice cream and the sweets theme. I thought that'd be really cute for the 4th of July. So you can kind of still see through that paper transfer paper, so I just line it all up, peel those off. And we have plenty of room on the left side of the sign still for the ice cream cone. Now it's just a matter of making that ice cream cone look patriotic, kind of like some of the other things we're doing today, but kind of more homemade because we're kind of starting from scratch here. I'm using, trying to remember the color. It's not really an ivory. I don't think it was cashew. Let me check. Yes, I think it was cashew for sure. And then I'm just doing a crisscross pattern with some antique wax by Waverly to try to give it like a waffle cone appearance. I wanted a little bit of a darker tan color for the cone, but we're going to make it work with what we have. And then I also filled the hole in the top with a little bit of spackle. Now it's time for the ice cream part, right? I'm just using ivory in chalk paint, and I am just going over where the ice cream is. And I also do kind of like a little curvy, you know, jagged line at the bottom, like little pieces of ice cream coming over the edge of the cone. And I do a couple of coats with that until I'm really happy. I want it to look like vanilla ice cream on our ice cream cone. None of that glitter stuff that was on the other side. And then we're also going to decorate it, kind of make it look cute for the 4th of July as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I just use a red paint pen, and I'm just going to dot, 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 dot all over little candy sprinkles. So easy. Then I decided to use like another tip of the pen to kind of make some larger ones as well for a little variety. And then I'm going to add some blue for red, white, and blue. I'm going to kind of outline the ice cream with like a blue paint pen, just to kind of clean up those edges, give it a little bit more color. But it's still definitely vanilla. I'm just trying to make the bottom edges look a little bit neater. Then I thought candy sprinkles would be good in blue, so I'm just going all over and doing little tiny lines all over to simulate little candy sprinkles on our ice cream cone. And I'm thinking it's looking better than it did before, right on the other side. I always prefer like doing my own thing on these Dollar Tree signs. Now it's just a matter of attaching it to our Sweet Land of Liberty sign, and I just use hot glue to attach it right to the front of that. So cute. It totally goes with our theme, but it's definitely a DIY. We kind of started from scratch with this, except for the ice cream cone. I did get the ice cream cone shape like the summer section at Dollar Tree. And you know I like to distress everything, so I just distress it lightly with a little bit of ivory and a chunky brush, just to kind of make it look a little bit better. Whenever I use vinyl on signs, I always like to distress it a little bit. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I made a little bit of a mess there on the back, and we're just going to use some twine from the Dollar Tree and my staple gun, and we are just going to knot it and staple that directly to the back to make a quick, easy hanger. And this is how it looks hanging on my wall for the party. Okay, next DIY is super easy. I'm gonna just take a Dollar Tree blue jar and then some of the window clings in red, white, and blue stars to basically just decorate a holder to do some of the little photo props. I found some really cute photo props from the Dollar Tree for 4th of July party. Little props people can hold and take pictures of, something silly. And so I just needed something to put them in. And I just did one of these little Dollar Tree blue jars. Now it's got stars all over it. And I thought these were so cute. Look how cute these are. Perfect for a 4th of July party, but this kind of just makes them a decor piece, but it's also functional because people can just pull right out of there and use them. Easy peasy. This next DIY was really fun. They have these little ice cream cone cups every year at the Dollar Tree, and I never really know what to do with them because they're so large, but I thought we would use it for decor. It's going to go with the theme perfectly. So I just go around the swirly swirl of the soft serve with my bright red paint pen, and I just wanted to add color to this. Lots of color and decor. The cone is super cute on its own, so I just kind of wanted to decorate the ice cream part. So I went around it once. I do go around it again just to kind of make my lines look a little bit more even, make it a little bit more colorful, kind of even everything up. And then I use that same paint pen to do a red candy sprinkles all over our ice cream cone. It does have a hole in it for a straw, but that's okay. It still looks like a giant ice cream cone, so that's super fun. And I'm just going to use this for a decor piece. Really no function, just decor. Then I wanted to bring a little blue in, so I'm using a blue paint pen, kind of like a lighter shade, and going around the base of it, and then also doing candy sprinkles to kind of make this coordinate with that little ice cream cone sign that we just made. So we got vanilla ice cream, we got a little blue on the bottom, we got red sprinkles, blue sprinkles. So cute and so easy to DIY, and look, it makes great decor for the party. The next DIY, I just want to make a very simple little 4th of July sign that you can use for a 4th of July party. And I'm just using a Dollar Tree sign. This is one of the ones with the little bump outs, but pretty easy to remove that. You're going to get a nice size sign and nice flat surface. I do need to cover up all of the writing and design that's on there though. So I am going to have to go over it with several coats of ivory chalk paint to kind of give us a blank canvas. And then I'm going to show you how to make a super easy, like just 4th of July sign that you could use. You could use this for, 4th of July decor or a party. And I kind of wanted the ice cream theme though, so I'm using some more of those decals. I picked up several packages of them, so I would have plenty to DIY with. And I'm doing like the little popsicle and the little happy 4th of July. And I'm just securing the window clings to the sign with a thin layer of Mod Podge underneath. And I'm trying to fill it up kind of as much as I can. I'm also going to add some stars, red, white, and blue stars from the window decals too. And just a really easy little sign I put together. I'm going to seal all of the decals down with a layer of Mod Podge. And I did want it to kind of look a little bit less like, stickers on there, a little bit more like a distressed sign. So once I do get it all sealed up with Mod Podge, I do distress mine a little bit too. If you don't like the distress look though, you can totally leave it as is. It didn't really want to stand up for me, so I am using a couple of wood blocks just glued inside. These are those Jenga blocks from Five Below, just to weigh it down a little bit, just because it was going to be a little tippy where I was going to display it. And there it is, our little happy 4th of July sign. And I did say I was going to distress it, so I just go over it with a little bit of ivory and give it a light distress, kind of in the same theme that we were going with that ice cream sign that we made for the wall. Kind of goes with my Coastal Farmhouse 5 in my house a little bit more. But you got to be careful also with the Mod Podge. Don't take any of that off once you've got it dried. But it was kind of hidden there in that picture, but hopefully you'll be able to see it here in just a little bit. Now, these were the other 2 jars that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. I picked up a clear one and a red one. And we're just going to display some fireworks in these. So as you can see, when you want to do a theme with these window decals, you probably need to pick up at least 3 of them because you're going to need lots of them. So I'm just doing some of the stars on these, kind of like I decorated the little photo prop thing with the blue one with the stars. So I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm just decorating the front. It's going to be super easy. I do have another idea for fireworks in my last 4th of July a video that came up on Sunday, so you'll have to check that out as well with what I did with my fireworks for this year. Now I'm going to do sparklers in one. These are the Dollar Tree sparklers, and I'm just going to go ahead and take them out of the box and make them ready to use. And then some of the Dollar Tree poppets in the other one just provide some really fun, easy Dollar Tree fireworks. Very inexpensive, very fun. Now, putting them in the jar, I was cracking up because they were exploding on me. But here they are, little poppets and sparklers displayed for the party. Okay, so the next DIY, I'm going to take this cute little ice cream cone that had like the American flag on it, and I am just going to cut it all the way out. So as you can see, I'm just cutting around the edges of it, but I'm leaving like the white backing on it. I just want it cut down to size like that. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make a fun little banner with these. And if I leave the backing on them, then I don't have to really glue them to anything. I can just use it as is, right? So I'm just going to cut these down. I want a variety of all the different like ice cream things they have. I did find here on my third one that it's even easier if you peel off the backing around it first, because then you see exactly where you need to cut. And I am just cutting out a good variety of ice cream cones and popsicles for the 4th of July, just to put these together to make a simple banner. And they were pretty kind of heavy duty like this, like they stood straight. I didn't have to really do anything else to them. So a fun little Dollar Tree hack, just leaving the window clings on the backing and using that as part of the design. So I'm just going to kind of lay mine out here exactly how I want them. And then I'm just gluing Dollar Tree twine to the back. I do use a ruler to make sure they're like evenly spaced, about every 6 inches. That way, because I can't really move them around or anything once I get them glued on here. But just a very simple, easy 4th of July, like pennant banner for a 4th of July party. And I'm continuing on that same cute ice cream theme that we've done for this party. So just a few more, and I kind of draped this on the front of my table to show you how it looks. It turned out super cute. Basically, that's all the construction. Once they're glued on there, you are ready to go. Quick and easy and really festive for the 4th of July. Now, the next DIY, I wanted to try to use some of these little wood craft cubes from the Dollar Tree and maybe do just some decorative blocks. I don't really DIY with blocks very much, but this is something I just wanted to try because I thought if I put 3 of them together, it could be about the same size of an ice cream cone, just something fun and whimsical for my party table. And so I just give them a coat of ivory on a couple of sides, and then we're going to kind of mix it up with some ocean and some crimson, do some red, white, and blue. And I decided I wanted one more edge to be white. I wanted it to be where they were white on some sides, red on some sides, and blue on some sides to kind of do a red, white, and blue theme. And this is me trying to figure out how this is going to work. Just something super fun. I didn't really like how my red, white, and blue was going, so I did make another blue side. That way it's a little bit more red, white, and blue. And then I'm just going to attach an ice cream cone to the front. Now, this is a really cute one that has a little American flag on top. It almost fits, not really, but we're going to make it fit. So I'm going to cut it. I'm just using an X-Acto knife to try to cut it down into 3 pieces. That way I can have 3 separate blocks, but I can kind of display them all together. Just a fun, whimsical DIY. And I am just gluing it on, the decal on with some matte Mod Podge. I did have to trim the middle section down more than I would like just because it was kind of too wide and I didn't really want it to overlap on the sides. I just wanted some fun little decorative block. So I just cut the outline off on the sides, the middle piece, and glue that on as well, sealing it on with a little bit of Mod Podge, and then the top part. Now, the only thing that I didn't like about it is that I had to cut off, like, you know, the lining from around the side. So I'm going to go in and kind of touch it up a little bit with some blue paint just to kind of fill in the sides, a little outline that's missing on the sides. But this is a super fun little project. Just an idea of what to do with some of these craft blocks that I always find at the Dollar Tree, and I never really know what to use with them other than like tier trays.
And this is how it turned out. I'm gonna give you a little tour of this 4th of July party theme. I love that ice cream cone, the sweet land of liberty. I love that theme. Ice cream and popsicles. And this year at the Dollar Tree, I found that they have lots of great items. They actually even have like the popsicles and stuff like that already like strung on a banner like that if you want to do that theme. But use unexpected things like the garden flags and stuff like that for your party decor. They work really well. You don't have to just use them as garden flags. But party stuff is, I noticed, probably about the only thing they really had at 4th of July. The Dollar Tree section. For some reason, they just don't really do decor very much, but they seem to really like to do party. Of course, I like to do both. I like to decorate for 4th of July, but I also really like to decorate for any parties or get togethers that we might be having. So, pretty easy, very traditional red, white, and blue. Lots of fun little details and signs, even. And I think that plate holder actually turned out pretty cute. It actually held up pretty well, too. I was quite surprised. And a little drink station. You can get some really cute little cups. And, anytime you can kind of decorate things with like those window clings and stuff like that, quick, easy hack. And you don't even need to own a Cricut machine or anything like that. I think the Sweet Land of Liberty sign is my absolute favorite. It's so cute. And this is how it all looks together as sitting out for the party. I hope you got lots of fun 4th of July party DIYs today. I told you I had a little bit of everything today, and I hope I gave you some great crafting inspiration to decorate for your party as well. It's now time for the final reveal, but please let me know which party table and which tablescape was your favorite in the comments down below. And don't forget to check out my second channel, Crafty Little Beach, for individual DIYs on your phone.
Fire
Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of today's video. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to all of my YouTube members for supporting my channel. Thank you to Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Donna Schreiner, I Am Mojo Jojo, Maren Christensen, Adrian Brolt, Debbie Middleton, Donna Tanner, Kim Rogers, Maria Cruz Pagan, Pal Puppy Life, Renee Albanese, Lori Hollingsworth, Mindy Hupp, and Chinny. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. You can become a Crafty Beach Bum member. All you have to do is hit the join button next to today's video on your phone or your computer. You can get early ad-free access to my content here on YouTube, a badge next to your name when you comment down below, and a shout out in every video. We would also love to see your DIYs. Make sure you're a member of our private Facebook group linked in the description of today's video and show off what you've been crafting. We would love to see your DIYs. And if you would like more 4th of July crafting inspiration, be sure to check out one of these videos right here. And until next time, happy crafting.